Hello, you beautiful, beautiful people. I'm your host, Doc, and welcome back to the Grow Channel. Today, we're going to talk about how I make my compost teas. Now, the tea I'm going to be making in this video is going to be a veg-focused tea to feed my plants that are in the veg stage. Now, a compost tea is an organic nutrient solution brewed from compost or organic matter. The point of a compost tea is to give your soil a boost of nutrients and microbiology to improve your soil's health and boost your plant's growth. So now that is out of the way, it's time to add the first thing, which is of course going to be the tea bag. Now I am using a paint strainer for my tea bag. It makes it very easy to hold everything, it fits the bucket very well, and it's very easy to tie off when we are done with all of it. So now that the tea bag is all ready to set up, it is time to start adding the good shit, the ingredients of this compost tea to make it a wonderful nutrient solution. And the first thing I'm going to be adding, which is one of the most important things of any compost tea, is worm poop or worm castings. Worm castings is a wonderful nutrient packed with microbiology and is a needed part of any compost tea. I'm adding 1.5 cups of it. So now that our bucket is full of some worm poop, it is time to add some vegetative nutrients. I'm going to be adding the Down to Earth 444 Veg Mix, which is an organic dry amendment made for veg stage growth and vegetables. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of this to this compost tea. This is also a wonderful dry amendment to simply just feed your plants by top dressing. It is one I use constantly and I absolutely love this stuff. So now that our compost tea bucket has quite a few bit of worm castings in there and some veg stage nutrients, it's time to add my favorite compost tea mix. Now I ended up making this mix over time of different ingredients that I added to compost teas and seeing which ones always gave me the best results when they were added. So this mix consists of crab meal, alfalfa meal, bat guano, and kelp meal, which are all wonderful things to add to compost teas. I also do use these nutrients in my nutrient mixes when I top dress, but these are the 4 ones I love adding to my compost teas, and I am going to be adding 1.5 cups in here. So far, we have added 1.5 cups of worm castings, 1/4 cup of Down to Earth 444 Veg Mix, and 1.5 cups of my own compost tea mix, which consists of crab meal, alfalfa meal, bat guano, and kelp meal. So now we are going to be adding some diatomaceous earth, which is an organic way to get silica to your soil. This is a newer thing I have learned about, and I'm going to do some more research on and see just how it works. So this is something I'm going to start adding to my top dressings and to my compost teas to see if it does benefit the plants at all, because I would like an organic way to add silica to my plants. So now that we have added all of the dry amendments and nutrients to this compost tea, it is time to start adding some sugars. So I'm going to be adding unsulfured blackstrap molasses. Now, molasses is just simple sugars to feed the microbiology and really get them kick-started and booming. Now, the next thing I'm going to be adding is some Recharge Instant Compost Tea. This is something I bought kind of recently, and I've been adding it to my compost teas and have seen a lot faster results. So instead of having to wait, 48 hours for my compost tea to be fully brewed and full of foam and bubbles, it takes about 24 to 36 hours now, and it's getting to that point where I would normally see it at 48 hours. So I'm going to be adding a tablespoon of this instant compost tea. It is honestly a wonderful product. I do recommend using it. I also feed my plants it. Even when I'm not doing a full-fledged compost tea, I'm just giving them a scoop of that and some water. Speaking of water, now that all of the ingredients have been added, it is time to start adding in some of that beautiful clear water. Now, I'm going to add it in very slowly and try to get everything thoroughly wet so that it doesn't end up floating up and everything can get brewed quite well. Now I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way full while the bag is still open, again trying to get everything wet. Then it is time to tie up the bag. So this is one of the reasons I use the bucket paint strainers. It makes it very, very easy to just pull it off of the bucket, and then I just wrap it around the handle for the bucket. It holds it very, very well. I haven't had any issues with it falling off or opening up, and it holds it very well in the position I want it to be in. I try to set it just over the halfway point of the bucket so that everything's submerged and nothing is sitting on the bottom. Then I try to move one of my air stones underneath it so that it can help move water and air throughout the compost. Then I'm going to open up my air line all the way and turn up the air pump. Well, now that the bag is all tied up and everything has been added, it is time to add the last bit of water, which I am going to use to try to wash off some of the stuff that's stuck to the sides and, get everything in the tea brewing. I don't want no stuff being left out. But this is my basic veg tea. That's pretty much how I make it. I am going to add a lid on top of it. No, it does not need to be in darkness. I just add a lid to stop splashback. But like I said, that is my basic compost tea. In 24 to 48 hours, this stuff will be ready to go and ready to feed your plants. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something from this video. I will see you in the next one.